I even really dive into this, I'll be completely and utterly honest with you. I'm a little upset. I just found out, well, since the last time we met, since Manic Music Media number 5, on Manic Music Media number 5, I left and I said, next time I see you, next time you see me, for this series at least, the next time that you see me, I will be in Mexico. I will be turning 30 in a day or two. And I will be ending the year with a Manic Music Media Monday. Now, that didn't happen, clearly, because Manic Music Media Monday number 6 is happening today, January 31st. Also, as I go back and I reminisce and I think about the last month, the last Manic Music Media Monday was actually done, I think, after 12 a.m., somewhere around there. It was still Monday on the West Coast, but it wasn't on the East Coast. So kudos to us today. We got in before 12 a.m. And we kept the cycle going. But going back, there's two reasons, essentially, that I did not provide a Manic Music Media Monday from Mexico. The first is I got the virus. I got COVID. Basically, when I landed in Mexico, I already had it. The day before I went back and forth to Boston on the train. So I'm riding buses, trains, New York City, back and forth to Boston, spend a day in Boston, spend a day in the movie theaters in Boston. We'll get it to that. And then get back to New York, hop on a plane, go to Mexico. So when I get there, I'm just thinking I'm jet lagged. I'm wearing a hoodie in the middle of warm ass Mexico. I'm kind of tired. I kind of just want to lay back. But I'm just thinking I'm jet lagged. I'm not thinking too much of it. A few days later, I realize, oh yeah, duh. Every symptom is probably COVID. But the other reason, which leads directly into one of the reasons I didn't realize I had it in the first place, was because I was vacationing. I created this long list of things that I had in mind that I was going to do. But really, when I landed, all I wanted to do was relax, enjoy some sun, enjoy some good food, walk around a little bit. Even when I had the virus and you're thinking, oh, it's the perfect time to lay back, quarantine for a few days, which I had to do. In those times, I just wanted to lay back and do nothing. So it's quite beautiful, cyclical, that last month was all about overconsumption, and I'm eating all of these things, trying to fill myself up. And immediately after, I went into a moment where I was just relaxing and taking it easy. And that's exciting for me. It was important for me, for my brain to relax. But now I am looking at this long list of items that I have to get to, but are also not the same priority that I believe that they once were. So it's 11 o'clock. Alarms are going off. Perfect. Perfect segue. Just start getting into the main topic. And for the main topic, I'm looking to make sure the alarm is off. It might not be. It might still be snooze. So we might come back in 10 minutes. But for the main topic, I want to start off by just reading to you this long, ridiculous agenda that I had in mind. My name, Hellbound, Dr. Brain, The Shrink Next Door, The Tragedy of Macbeth, The Last Duel, Insecure, The End, Licorice Pizza, The French Dispatch, King Richard, 8-Bit Christmas, Rolling Like Thunder, Swan Song, Ron's Gone Wrong, Nightmare Alley, Ghostbusters Afterlife, West Side Story, Wolf, Titanic, Come On, Come On, Licorice Pizza. I already said that, but I just wanted to get the mixture of licorice or licorice. Which one is it? Licorice. Tick, tick, boom. This is the list. Not like I had it all down written in the list, but I went back, like, just looking at the things I added to my watch list, looking at all of the things I downloaded. This is the ridiculous list of I had in mind of the things that I was going to be able to get through on my vacation while I'm relaxed, while I'm enjoying oneself, as if I wasn't escaping the hustle, the bustle, the winter, to go lock myself up into a media consumption tunnel that I had to enjoy, that I was forcing myself to get into. How ridiculous. I downloaded my VPN because I was going to make sure. That I wasn't going to be an amateur no more. That I wasn't going to do it the way that I did it back in the past, where I want to go and watch my content, where I want to go watch my television shows, and the app tells me, no, you are out of the country. You cannot watch this right now. No, I wasn't going to do that. Those days was over. Finito. Done. El fin. Goodbye. Hasta luego. They were done. I was going to trick the app. I was going to tell them where I was so that they could provide me the content that I needed, though some apps still tried to play me. TNT app, I already have another issue with you, TNT, because for some reason you think that it's cool whenever I'm watching my All Elite Wrestling Dynamite on a Wednesday at about the hour and 22 minute, about the hour and 24 minute mark. Maybe it's the hour and a half mark, because maybe I turned to AEW Dynamite about 5 minutes early because I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything. You have this tendency, you have this system default where you want to interrupt the show that I'm watching, wherever it's at, whether it's in the middle of a promo, whether it's in the middle of a match, whether it's in the last 30 seconds of a match, whether it's in a picture and a commercial break, to stop me and go, are you still watching this? It's live television. This is not Netflix. You're not giving me episode after episode for 4 hours. That's not what's going on here. I've only been on this channel for an hour and 20 minutes. If I was watching a Fast and the Furious movie, I would have to get through it this amount of time 3 times to finish the movie with the amount of commercials that you give me. And you want to interrupt. I'm done. We're done having this conversation. I'm so very happy that I only have to deal with you once a week now because, well, actually, I only have to deal with you once a week now because I'm only watching AEW Rampage on you. But the TBS app is also one of the worst things that I've ever dealt with. But I've given you too much attention. I've given you too much shine. Back to what I was saying. So I downloaded my VPN, thinking I got all of these things to finish. Oh, it's Christmas time. I should watch 8-Bit Christmas. Oh, did you hear the new Mahershala Ali movie that's coming out on Apple TV? All of these things that I had in mind, as if traveling isn't uncomfortable and cumbersome enough. Who ever actually gets to watch anything on the plane? Who gets to? Every time I download something, and I'm going, oh, I'm gonna watch these 3 movies that I downloaded on Netflix on this train ride, on this plane ride. I never get to do it. I watched Spiderman and Venom on the plane ride home because it was just easy and convenient right there. And that's what they do. That's what they know that they're doing. They know you're too tired. They know that you're too stuffed up. You're not going to enjoy it. Maybe I'm not flying nice enough. Maybe I'm not spending enough money. Maybe when you fly first class, then you can watch the things that you actually download on your iPad and enjoy the things that you actually download on your iPad. So, despite all my big plans, the reason why we did not get a Manic Music Media number 6 from Mexico, the reason why we did not get a Manic Music Media number 6 a day or 2, or I can't remember how soon exactly it was before my 30th birthday, was because I vacationed away from it all. I vacationed away from my task, from my watch list, from winter, from my routine, from my agenda, my regimen. I took it easy. And that's what we're going to do for this Manic Music Media Monday. We're going to take it easy. We are going to not be angry at ourselves about all of the things that we didn't get to, about all the priorities that we just didn't find important enough to prioritize. We are going to enjoy no regrets about this all. Now, let's get into it. Manic Music Media Monday number 6. Oh, should I get into housekeeping? Since this is on YouTube and Twitch. Alright, so before I switch over, let's just make sure I get into housekeeping. My name is Tyler PSwitch Dow. That P is silent. You're pretty deep into this without not knowing who I am. So I appreciate your time and your energy. I'm glad that you've gotten here. If you're watching this on Twitch, make sure you follow. I don't have many of them. That's cool with me. But if I'm going to spend my time doing this, we got to start amping it up. So become one of the earliest ones. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching the full one. We also break it down into clips, so say subscribe for that. Also check out the Cool Company channel where I do Cause the Silent P Said So, wrestling podcasts and content, because I do Saturday morning synopsis, interview show with Nia Fields, and that's ramping up a lot this year in 2022 as well. Also make sure you check out the music. Oh, I did not even show you the watch list. What am I doing? I apologize. Check out the watch list. Boom. Got the alignment right. We won't get into how I was able to get this right the first time. First time. ASMR. Check out the watch list. Also, make sure you check out all the music that we got on out. Tyler PSwitch Dow on all streaming services. Remember that P is silent. We don't really have a big music section this episode. I'm working on an album. My music is consumed by my own thoughts at the moment. So, be right back. We'll get into the memorial section, newcomer section. Thank you for watching Manic Music Media Mondays. So, like I mentioned, this month is a little bit light. We really settled back. We really took our time with things. This past month, I actually been extremely busy. I'm lying. I've been extremely busy. Haven't been sleeping well whatsoever. Not that I haven't been sleeping well, because when I do sleep well. I just ain't been getting to sleep because I've been doing so much. Because literally, from the moment I landed back in Mexico, it's been go, 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 go. Not complaining, just explaining. But the good thing about this is that we didn't do a Manic Music Media Monday last month, so we get to talk about things that we actually would have talked about last month, and I'm not going to just leave them out. I'm not going to forget them, because some of them were some of the best shows of the year, some of the most enjoyable shows to me, and some of them were heartfelt, and some of them hurt. Some of them were just not. They were alright. Alright, so let's start off by talking about Succession. Now, Succession is maybe the most perfect show on television. It is gut-wrenching, it's hilarious, it's embarrassing, it's nerve-wrenching. It is what I imagine the darkness of the world actually looks like, but it is just it's fucking so just like consuming. It sucks you in like a black hole where you're so interested in this life because it's so far-fetched and it's so out of reach, but it is also something that you want to stay as far away from as possible. It's part of the perfect things about it is that you are just a fly on the wall. We're in the memorial section, I know, but what we will talk about in the newcomer section, Euphoria, is similar in that sense, where you're jumping from scene to scene and you are so engrossed into the actions, into the characters, but you don't want to be anywhere near this actual scene in real life because you don't want to have to talk to these people. You don't want to have to deal with these people in these situations that they are putting themselves into. And Succession is so quirky, it's so witty that as a fan, right, as just a person watching, you can enjoy it. But to think that these conversations and that people like this are really existing in the real world is so sad. Another thing that was really sad, but also really joyous, especially from the way that I was able to experience, the way that I was able to enjoy it, was the end of Insecure. 5 seasons. So for me, Insecure ended a few days before. Oh, was it the day after Christmas? Something along those lines. So I'm already in Mexico. In Mexico with my great friend, the co-host of Saturday Morning Synopsis, Nia Fields, and we knew it was going to be an event. We were saying goodbye to a show that we had both been into from the day it started. Nia has even been into it longer than me because she had a relationship with the YouTube show Awkward Black Girl. So we knew it was gonna be a moment, so we made sure we got all of our things together. Bought a bottle of wine. I think we might have done some edibles, and we enjoyed Insecure. And we didn't know. Oh, and right before we put on the previous week's episode, so we really dived ourselves into it, and we had conversations the days leading up to it, thinking about or asking each other, where do we think the show is going to go, and where do we think it's going to end up. And part of the interesting thing about that is that I think not only she and I, but so many Insecure fans had different ideas of what the show is. I think it was not only from the final episode, but leading up to the final episode in the last 1, 2, 3 seasons, it was clear that they were showing that it was a love show, and the love story was between Molly and between Issa more than anybody else. I think more than their counterparts, more than their significant others. Also, there was the love story that was going on between all of the girls. That group of friends that really became the highlight of Issa's community. But for me, one of the most interesting things about the show was that part of me just wanted the show to end in the most insecure, awkward moment, because that is what Insecure was all about. It's all about Issa talking to the mirror, having moments, and I think they were able to really sprinkle those moments throughout the final season, where no matter what Issa was going through, she still had an awkward interaction. She still had an awkward engagement. So part of me just wanted the show to end in a moment of insecurity, in a moment of awkwardness. But what the show actually did was do the opposite. It took us into a place, and it leapt us forward into a place where their insecurity and their awkwardness were no longer the stars of the show, because they were strong individuals who survived and sustained and were able to build something despite all of their insecurity, despite all of their awkwardness. And I think that's a beautiful story to tell. Whether it's what I would do or not, I think it's irrelevant, or it doesn't matter, because I think they set out to tell us something, and they set out to do something, and they accomplished it, and I give them applause for it. What I was not able to do, as you've heard in the opening monologue, was that I did not watch the Insecure The End special. I think, so Insecure might have been the day or two before I actually realized I had COVID. So I'm probably wearing a hoodie, chilling on the couch, laid back, going, yeah, of course my body is relaxed because I just had an edible. I'm not thinking that I got COVID that's putting me down. So we said we were going to watch the Insecure The End special, and we did not get there. But maybe I'll get there. I don't know. It's at this place where the show's been over for 2 months. I don't know. Next time I see you, Nia, we'll watch the Insecure The End special together. Also, I think that same night, maybe Nia went to bed and I stayed up and I finished Curb Your Enthusiasm, which kind of just ended as a dud. Now, Curb Your Enthusiasm is not the show that needs to be a big cliffhanger ending, but I think one thing that they did extremely well this season was they gave us kind of, I mean, they always do this, but I feel like they even went harder with it, where they gave us 1, interlying or one intermingling thing that connects the whole story to everything. And so it's almost as if that's the underlying joke, and every day you're waiting, it's building, and you're waiting for the last episode to hit you with a punchline. I feel like instead of giving us a punchline, they gave us a swerve, they gave us a divergent, and that was cool. But the season served its purpose, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not expecting more of it. But, curb your enthusiasm. See you when you come back around. And I'm always surprised when you do come back around, so that's exciting. Staying on to HBO, because literally Succession, Insecure, Curb Your Enthusiasm, this has all been an HBO hour. We got one that's not on Insecure that we'll get to. Genlock, the anime starring Michael B. Jordan and what's her name from Game of Thrones, Arya Stark, and a lot of people. Genlock. So this episode, I guess we're gonna get into more anime than we normally do, because I'm also gonna talk about a movie called Belle later on. I say a movie called Belle as if it wasn't one of the biggest movies of Sundance this year, but as somebody who doesn't divulge into anime, who the deepest I really get into is like some Cowboy Bebop and my Digimon tattoos. It's new to me, but Genlock, the way that this show is opening and turning more into family and turning more into a psychological show about what it means to be alive and what religion means and what it means to be conquered and what it means to be connected and what it means to be open, what it means to be vulnerable. It's just dive deeper and deeper into that with each episode, with each season, and I'm constantly surprised by it and I'm constantly impressed by it. And it was really one of the highlights of my last year, watching Genlock, watching these characters fall in love with each other and have to cut themselves open to gather strength from each other, with each other. It's, in a way, I guess, why my while the children of me, I don't know how to describe what I'm saying. Why me as a child enjoyed Power Rangers and enjoyed Digimon. It was able to do that on such an adult level. And the last series that we're going to talk about in the memorial section is something that I did not even realize was coming back so quickly. But the moment I found out it was, I canceled all of my plans. I turned everything else off. It was a studio session and this for the weekend. And before I even reveal what this show is, which you should probably know, because it just happened, and there's really just one show that I can say does this. Woo! She's from New York. Alright. I just had to look up who the actress was before I talked about the show, because I needed to speak about the actress's name specifically. Julia Garner in Ozark deserves it all. Deserves everything. Ruth, you are it. You are it all. You are everything. You think Jason Bateman is a smart ass, is a hilarious ass actor? Julia Garner, who I just found out was born in 1994 and was born in New York City. I'm not going to read her whole Wikipedia right now to find out if she was actually raised in New York City, but girl, woo, you deserve it all. Everything. My kidney. The way Ozark ended. Ozark's one of those shows that I cannot just watch one episode. The moment it's over, I need to know what's going to happen next. I'm so invested into these characters. I'm so invested into their moods. It's so much like Breaking Bad, where anything that can happen, it leads you down a road where anything is possible. But in Breaking Bad, because it was on AMC, there was only a certain level that they were going to go to. Everybody loved Bryan Cranston. Everybody loved Walter White. Everybody loved Heisenberg. But in the Ozarks, I really believe that this shit can hit the fan. Everybody can fucking get it. Nobody is safe. And I feel like you really suffer from your actions. And some of these characters are pieces of shit, or they're not pieces of shit. They're actually very lovely people, but they have done some piece of shit things out of greed, out of lack of accountability, and it's going to fucking come and get you, Bird family. And I almost don't feel bad for you, but it's expected on a whole nother level. Shit. And I think one day we're going to be saying rest in peace. It's the perfect way to end this memorial section.